Hello, Merry Meet. So, I want to review a book. And the book I want to review is Llewellyn's 2016 Witch's Companion, an almanac for contemporary living. And yeah, I know it is a little late since we are in February, but this is just, there's just a tiny segment in here that has anything to do specifically with 2016. All the others is just basically articles about paganism and witchcraft. So this is a magazine. This book here, it's basically a magazine. I don't know why they call it an almanac, because me an almanac, there's something you do to keep track of the year's calendars. You can point out when you have appointments, all of those different things. This is not an almanac. Excuse me. It's basically articles. So and I mean, if you're gonna get this book, just wait a year, because it'll be dirt cheap because it says 2016 on the cover. But 95, if not more, of the content is just as valid any year. So yeah, it's just a collection of articles, and I get this each year because the articles are usually quite good. And yeah, I know I should follow my own advice and get it the year after. I'm weak for getting books, okay? So, let's have a look at what's in here. We have, and it's different authors, of course. You have Tess Whitehurst, Why Fluffy Bunny Isn't Funny. Basically, it discusses how Fluffy Bunny has become a way to put people down on in the occult. I mean, it's become the within occultism. That's the thing. Just like on the internet now, every time somebody is in a disagreement with you, they say, "Oh, you're a troll. You're a troll." In occultism, they say, "You're a fluffy bunny. You're a fluffy bunny." Once it had a specific meaning, just like troll had a specific meaning, but now it's become meaning everybody that doesn't agree with me. It's basically discussing that tendency and why it's getting problematic, because it's just become a way to dismiss anybody who doesn't agree with you. But rather they're a fluffy bunny. So that's a good article. Then we have James Campbell's To Walk a New Path. It's basically about crossroads within the spiritual path, and when you are stepping into a new one, the difficulties and joys of doing that. Okay, article. We have Barbara Ardinger, Practical Lessons in Kindness and Gratitude from the Grasshopper and the Ant. It's a bit but it's pretty okay. I mean, I think that for anyone, having a bit of gratitude is an important thing. I mean, I consider myself to be a left-hand path practitioner, but I too have some rituals within my daily routine that has to do with gratitude. And not necessarily because I feel that I don't deserve this or I'm basically crawl for the universe thing, but because when I'm showing gratitude for what I have, it's easier to not basically be upset about things that I do not have. So yeah, like I am healthy, I so on and so forth. I can, when I'm grateful for that, I can accept that I have odd eyes, for example. So gratitude can be a very powerful path to walk when it comes to self-empowerment. So yeah. Then we have Bodisha Forrester, Leaving a Legacy in the Pagan Community. It's basically about how the pagan community have lost some of its most celebrated elders lately, and about their legacy, and about people that basically, when their work becomes really a part of the communal whole of neo-paganism. Then we have Linda Radish, A Place in the Sun, The Lure of the Nordic Bronze Age, which is quite interesting. It's about how paganism was practiced, that area and time. And we have Monica Crosson, Pagan Standard Time, A Tale of Tolerance. Basically, it's about how quite a few neo-pagans too are not too tolerant, and how we cannot fight intolerance with from some religions towards us by being then intolerant towards other religions. And then we have Yumi X Reverend Variable. Oh, okay then. This concordanism, a taste of April foolery all year round. It is quite interesting because here we are actually mixing in a bit of chaos magic with your paganism. I like that. Then you have Stephanie Woodfield, The Path of the Priestess. It's quite interesting. It's basically an article about that basically for some people, priestess means it's a status symbol. I'm the priestess of blah blah blah, bow before me. But really, being a priestess, or a priest for that matter, has to do with basically service. It's about being a spiritual leader. And a leader is more than just, yeah, sure, there comes some status with leadership. There's also a lot of responsibility. And then we have Cassius Sparrow, What to Do When Your Magic Doesn't Work. Another pretty good article. Basically, it is how to improve and simply why might it not work. We have Laurel Rafuner. We are everywhere finding pagans in the wild, which basically about how we have paganism everywhere. And basically how to get out there and meet other pagans. Then we have Susan Pensecker, Why Journaling is just an angsty process for so many people. It's a pretty interesting and fun article. And then we have Nadja Lightfoot, Spiritual Cleansing at Crossroads. I really like that one. I have to try that method at some point. Then we have Barbara Aubringer, Adding Mindfulness to Our Lives, because everybody can need a bit of mindfulness. And we have Amber Grant, Spice Up Your Magic. It's basically how to add herbs and such to magic. And yeah. Autumn Diana, it was written a bit strangely. And you know how I am with pronunciations. The magical and spiritual uses of diet. This one is very interesting to me because, like I've said, I have Asperger's syndrome. So it's very difficult for me to use a lot of time and effort for things that doesn't fit into my little interest box. I know this is very strange for people that doesn't have this issue to understand, but it's just how I am. But as soon as it fits into my little interest box, and my interest box being the supernatural, both in fact and in fiction, as when I can suddenly eat more healthy and make more healthy food and such as part of my occult interest, then boom, I'll suddenly learn about it much quicker than usual, and it's suddenly something that doesn't cost me an effort to do. So yeah, I've been starting to collect books and articles about magical eating, kitchen witchcraft, and all sorts of things, just to try to get that into that box. Squeeze it into the box. So for me, it's pretty interesting, and it's a pretty good article. And then we have Jane Meredith, Magical Kids. It's basically working magic with children. It isn't an article that's relevant for me because I don't have children. I'm not planning on having children, and I don't really know anybody that I ever work with that will bring their children to, at least not regularly, that will bring their children to a working. So it's not really something that is very relevant for me, but it's an okay article. Michael Furry, From Shadows to Light, an overview of banishing and polarization. It's a pretty interesting article. We have Blake Octavian Blair, Easy Guide to Guided Meditations. I really like that one because that can be such a powerful tool. Guided meditations is one of your best tools. And actually, here's a little hint. Want a guided meditation? Just pick up your webcam. Let's say you want a guided meditation for stopping smoking. Let's take some. Then you just say something that you will, for example, take your way down, that you are going to a peaceful place and asking your spirit guide for help, and then how you are seeing yourself tossing away your cigarettes and going through life and never wanting smoking again. Just read that in via your webcam, then play it off for yourself, and then you have a guided meditation. Just a little hint. But anyway, it's a good article. And then we have Charlie Rainbow Wolf. Smudge plants and how to use them, because there's more than just the sage that you can smudge with. Then you have Lexa Olik, written in stone, an ancient tool in modern world. It's basically about stones, and wasn't that the one that we're about ancient practices? Yeah. It's basically about stones and magic. Yeah, and some ancient practice around there. Then you have Emi, magical monikers. It's about your magical name. It's okay. Est-a Marelda McNevin. And I probably butchered that name. Recognizing and combating the evil eye, putting it on and poking it out. It's basically charms and protections. And then we have Melanie Marquis, Big Magic for a Small World. It's about when it's appropriate to use magic, and then all of those things there. And then we have Natalie Simon, I think. Yeah. A Tower of Truth, Wall of Wonder, a ritual to heal a painful past. It's a pretty good one. Tiffany Lysick, I think it is. Leaping from Sue's head, how Athena helps combat negative thinking. That one I really like, because I really have a tendency to do negative thinking. We have Christopher Hughes, Caravan, meeting the witch goddess. It's basically about how to deepen your connections with that particular goddess. Diana Rachel, the divine masculine for women. This is very interesting, because I think there's too little that in modern pagan books about how basically in every woman there is a part that is masculine, or the animus, and in every man there is a part that is feminine, or the anima. And we don't talk about that too much, about how basically while we might celebrate the feminine within a man, we also need to celebrate the masculine within a woman. And that's a pretty good article. And then we have finally here Elizabeth Barrett. That's an interesting name. The Inward Bridge, Massage and Mind-Body Connection, which is pretty interesting. And basically about massage techniques and how to use that within spirituality. And then we have the one tiny little section that is relevant for this year only. The Lunar Calendar, September 2015 to December 2016. A calendar with holidays and new and full moons. That's one. And basically that is from page 271 to... so basically it goes through the... As you can see here, it goes through one each for each month, and there's a lunar calendar. So this section here is relevant only for this year. This is including the advertisements. All the other is just the articles. So yeah, this is not an almanac, but never mind that. I really like this book. The articles are top-notch. I would rather spend, how much did this cost? $12 for this book than to buy a magazine, because the articles are longer and they are generally more interesting. It's just a book filled of great articles. It's like you have a magazine, only that it's easier to read because it's in a book format, and the articles are longer and written by some of the most celebrated names currently active in pagan authorship. It's awesome. And it's also have little illustrations. It's a pretty book. Little horn and little book. Just this little illustrations here and there. Little spiral. So yeah, do I recommend this? Yeah, absolutely. I think it's a great way to get, I guess, a goodie bag of articles about paganism. Of course, like with any mixed bag, some of the articles will be for you, some of them will not. For example, the one about magical food is right into what I'm researching at the moment, so it's perfect for me. The same with the one with a bit of a chaos magic flair is perfect for me, while the one about magic and kids isn't relevant for me whatsoever. You'll always get that, but I would say that for the majority of these articles they go from okay to brilliant. So I will give this book 9 out of 10. My only complaint is that they call it an almanac. It's not an almanac. It's a yearly magazine. That's what it is. But basically here you have a bunch of articles written by the biggest names in pagan authorship at the moment. The book is pretty cheap. It's pretty. It's useful. And if you wait until it's 2017, you can pick this up in the bargain bin for basically nothing, and it will be just as relevant. You will just have we'll have 13 pages that are not relevant for you anymore. 13 out of nearly 300. So yeah, was there anything more I should say? About the length of the article, we can say it's about, let's see here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Is that one? And this one is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So it's, I would say, around somewhere between 5 and 10 pages per article. So yeah, that's my review of Llewellyn's 2016 Witch's Companion. I recommend this absolutely. It's a great book. Hope you have enjoyed this review. Have a great day, and blessed be.